Well, this hive has just been exploding, and they've actually brooded all the way up into the top box. Uh, so to me, that's a bit more brood chamber than I really want to have to manage on one hive. I'm finding that all mediums has its ups and downs. I started with this setup because I did a lot of research before I started beekeeping, and one of the things that appealed to me was interchangeability of equipment. So, as a backyard beekeeper, just having a few hives, the idea of having everything interchangeable between the hives with the frames all being the same size appeals to me. The thing I'm finding is aggravating about it is that it's a lot of frames to go through on an inspection, and it really makes checking for queen cells kind of clunky, and it makes it take a lot longer than I wish it did. You get a lot of bees flying, and it gets a little intimidating. So, I don't know. I'm a little bit on the fence, if I'm honest. Thinking about maybe getting some deep brood chambers and just keeping the mediums as honey supers for next season, but we'll see. I'll go through this season this way, and we'll see what happens. The goal today is to split this hive down, and I need to check and just double check, make sure there's no queen cells in the hive. If there are, I'll move them into the split. If not, then what I'm going to do is, I'm not sure what it's called. There's probably a name for it, and I just don't know, but I'm going to call it a shakedown split just because that makes sense to me. But basically what I'll do is I'll take the frames out that I want to put into the split, and I'll shake them into the remaining top box of the hive, put a queen excluder on it, and then put the box I intend to split on top of the queen excluder, allowing nurse bees to come up and cover the frames. And then I can move that box off and know for a fact I don't have the queen in it. If I find the queen, I might change my mind. Another thing that I think I'm going to try to do today is move this hive over so that the split can sit in the position this hive is in, or I'll turn them so they face each other. I haven't decided yet. So this is going to be clunky, and honestly, I'm nervous. I've never done a split before, and I maybe sound more confident than I really am, but honestly, I think this is going to be kind of a mess. So wish me luck. Hopefully I don't ruin everything. I've already smoked the entrance. I always do that a few minutes before I get in there, but I'll give them a couple more puffs just to be safe. I got this new Man Lake smoker with the rubber bellows. Really like it. It's easy, and it stays lit really well. Also, since the last video, I've added an inner cover. I went the cheap and easy route. I have chickens, so I used some of the old feed bags and made a feed bag inner cover. And it's really simple. There we go. Oh man, I really like this smoker. This is a good one. There we go. A few bees on the feed bag. So they are drawing some comb. Let's see what's going on in this box before I start pulling boxes apart. We've got nectar going in here. Now they're just drawing these, so there's just a lot of bees on them. They haven't really done anything with it yet. Drawing comb. Man, they're drawing comb like mad. That's awesome. Let's see if there's any eggs. Bee bread. Hard to see on these white backgrounds. Yeah, there's eggs in here. Gosh, man, she is just a laying machine. It's crazy. I would try to show you the eggs, but you're not going to be able to see them. Not on the white background. So I wonder if she's on this frame. It's like 1 day old eggs in here. No? Nope. Cat brood. Bee bread. Nectar. That's good. They're on some nectar, so that's a plus. There was a little dearth We had some real cold days and rain, and not a lot of nectar was coming in, so I had to feed them for a week, but it looks like they're good now because they're storing nectar. No queen on this frame, mostly capped brood. Might be eggs on this side. Yes, there are. So this is like a prime box to split. The queen has been in here within the last 3 days at minimum. Wow, I really like this smoker. Gosh, it stays lit so much better than my other smoker. All right, here's a frame I moved into the middle. It was undrawn. Drones. Oh, here's my queen. All right, this kind of changes things because here's my queen. I don't know what the video is showing. This is a queen from Olivarez. I'm not sure how to say it. Bees in Northern California. She's actually from their offshore, well, their Hawaiian extension. She's what they call a Big Island queen. I have affectionately named her Queen Kamanawanalea, and she is a boss. I definitely want to keep her, so I do not want this hive swarming. So now that I've found the queen, I'm going to set this frame aside and keep her doing her thing, and so I don't have to do the queen excluder thing. So I'm going to just go ahead and make my split, and then I'll inspect the rest of the hive. Okay, queen frame over there for sure. Now the tricky thing is I need to move this hive over, so I'm going to have to break some boxes off so I can get it light enough to do it. The upshot is I can just take this off and make a split from it, which is what I think I'm going to do, because it's got pretty much everything we need for the split. Oh, this isn't that bad. So I'm just going to tug this over this way. Okay, that was not as bad as I expected. So now I can put the split in the position where the old hive was. So what will happen is the returning foragers will go into the split. Theoretically, that's what's supposed to happen. Before I do that, I need to check and make sure we don't have any viable queen cells so that I don't lose Queenie. Speaking of which, where is she? I made an error by putting this down there. Nope, there she is. She stays there. Good little queen. Good little queen. So, I have a new top, bottom board, and a brood box. So this is going to go here. Split right there. Which is this one. Okay, here we go. Now, I need a frame of capped brood for this. Probably one of these over here. here. No queen cells worth worrying about. Cat brood, eggs. Cat brood, eggs. Not sure about that one. See what's going on further in. Boy, they love making propolis, this colony. It's a real sticky one too. And they love making drone comb on the bottom of the frames. Larva. Okay, this next one looks pretty good. A little feisty. Brood. It's pretty good. Yeah, that's mostly cat brood. Okay, that's gonna be my center frame. Boom. There we go. You know what? This is medium. I'm gonna take one more. Daggone it. Open up this brood chamber a little bit. Open up the brood nest, that is. So, Michael Bush, in a lot of his stuff that he talks about opening up the brood nest. And that's where you remove frames from the brood nest that are actively being drawn or actively being laid in, and you replace them with an empty. So, do that. Okay. Go. What's that? So now we've got a nice empty frame going in here. I don't see any signs of queen cells, so what I think I'm going to do is come back and inspect this hive a little later for queen cells. Since the queen's actively laying in this top box, I think we're going to be okay. So I'm going to operate under the assumption that they're not swarming since she's got ample room to lay. And we're going to put her back in here with an empty frame for them to draw out. Make sure she's in there still. The drone. Hey, sweetheart. I'll be sad if I lose my queen, like an idiot. Where are you? Uh-oh, did she fly away? I will be so sad. Nope, there she is. She's right there. Okay. Whew. Boy, you're good at hiding. Okay. No, Louise. Real careful with this frame. Do not want to roll my queen. Okay. Cool. Cool, cool. All right. I'm satisfied with that for now. I'm gonna retop this with a different top. I'm gonna put a new cover on this. I got this nice sheet metal clad cover. This is made by Harvest Lane Honey, and I was really impressed with the construction quality. It's a little more expensive than like the Man Lake ones or some of the other manufacturers, but it's really well made, and the sheet metal goes all the way around the wood, and there's a drip edge. So this thing is going to last forever. So that's going to be the new top on this hive. There we go. Now, slow these guys down a little bit. Okay, here we go. I'm really impressed with how gentle these bees are. I know I'm all suited up, but haven't really had many of them up in my face. They haven't been buzzing me real bad. I have a couple of them fly at my hands here and there, but they're pretty gentle. So I'm real impressed with them. Well, so this is how I'm going to leave it for now. Line that up a little better. My OCD kicks in when I start putting boxes on. But now we have a second hive, and if this is what I was expecting, you'll notice the bees are still flying back to that location where the old hive was. So I may find that I need to put another box on there, but there's some going back over here as well. So I'll have to keep an eye on the volume of bees in that hive, and I might need to stick a second box on it. But what it'll do is it'll weaken this hive a little bit until they get more hatch, and it'll strengthen this hive. So hopefully I'll end up with 2 strong hives for this year. We'll see what happens. So I guess at this point I just gotta wait and see what happens. So that's what I'm gonna do.